Yo, we're back on No Left, and today I would be basically going over how the Dallas Mavericks have failed, quite literally. It's been a very weird season for them. They look much different than when they started out the season. You know, of course, acquiring Kyrie Irving after the Nets trade and him requesting a trade and all that. And people thought that once Kyrie came over, it was over for the league. Even myself, I thought Kyrie Irving going to the Mavericks will be a handful for any team. And as we've seen, it just hasn't seemed to click. Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic are both very, very, give me the ball type players. I need the ball type players. They both do great things with the ball, but obviously there's only one ball. So when either Kyrie has the ball or when Luka has the ball, it kind of is a little weird. To go over some stats. Actually, no. Before we get to the stats, I want to talk about how it says in the past 15 games. This was as of a couple days ago, but within the past 15 games, minus the two there's been since then, Luka Doncic has a negative 22 plus minus on the Mavs, and Kyrie has a plus 62 plus minus on the on the Mavs. Sorry if I said Cavs. On the Mavs. So it's weird that Luka is actually being a lot less productive, and Kyrie Irving's was way above when it came to production. People can just tell that Luka Doncic is not happy. He said in reports that he's not happy. He says he misses Jalen Brunson, which is his ex-teammate that went to the New York Knicks. So it's kind of a weird situation, but it seems like Kyrie Irving loves being in Dallas based off what he says to the media, but you honestly never really know with him. And yeah, so they just have now been eliminated from playoff contention, so they're over with. And and as a couple days ago, there was a report saying that Kyrie Irving is expected to test free agency. And yeah, but it also says, despite the Dallas Mavericks struggles since requiring Kyrie Irving, the plan is still to re-sign the star guard, league sources told Bleacher Report, wrote NBA insider Chris Haynes. But so honestly, I don't know. It seems like Mark Cuban wants Kyrie Irving to come back, and I feel like it'll kind of be. I don't know. I don't know how Luka would feel about it, because I don't know how Luka is having Kyrie on the team. But I mean, the stats again show that Luka Doncic has a negative, way below negative plus minus, and Kyrie Irving has a plus 62, which is crazy. But yeah, honestly, I have no idea what's going to happen in the offseason. NBA offseason, no one can ever predict it. The most craziest things happen. A year ago, no one would have expected Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving to be one on the Mavericks and one on the Suns. So much can change in such a low amount of time. That's hard to predict, but we'll see with Kyrie. You never really know. But yeah, so to kind of go over, the games that Kyrie has played with the Mavericks in his career, he has a record of 7-12 with them, which is not very good. And the Dallas Mavericks overall as a team are ranked 16th in points per game, 30th in rebounding per game, 28th in assists per game, and 15 in defense. So they're very middle in the pack when it comes. There's just nothing about them that really stands out. It's either they're very mediocre or they're really bad. I'm surprised that in assists they're 28th, but it makes sense because it's really only Luka and Kyrie probably passing the ball. Jaden Hardy is also nice, but I don't know. It's just mostly Luka, the one that is the main ball handler, and if they just have a bunch of shooters or try to be shooters, however you want to take that, but yeah. So 15th defense, not the worst, not the best, obviously. And yeah, what their biggest issue has been is that they just have no big men. I've seen the JaVale McGee minutes. I like JaVale McGee's minutes, but JaVale McGee is not going to be I don't know how JaVale McGee can like compare and keep up with the other big centers in the league if they want to be a contender. Obviously, having 2-star or superstar guards and Luka and Kyrie, it's a handful for the defense, but they don't have anyone to get stops with. So you can score all you want, but if you can't get stops and you're just giving up free open lanes and like easy shots to the basket, you can't really do a whole lot about that. But it's just kind of weird. But yeah, so and that's the thing, because if we look at Kyrie Irving's stats with the Mavericks, he has averaged 26.2 points, 6.1 assists, 5.3 rebounds in 15 games with Luka Doncic in his career, which is pretty good. And Luka has averaged 30.7, 8.5 rebounds, and 7.1 assists in 15 games with Kyrie Irving in his career. So they both have relatively been like the same, like I guess, or pretty good. The only thing that becomes an issue is the fourth quarter, because both are very fourth quarter players, and when one person's doing something in the fourth quarter, the other person can't do anything in the fourth quarter, so it kind of gets a little messy. But yeah, so Kyrie Irving has 26.2, and yeah, like I think that's relatively like where I guess you can only ask for him. Like as a duo, they're averaging 56.2 points, about 14.7 rebounds, and 12 something assists. Like that's not bad at all. But again, it's just the defense. Like they just cannot do anything defensively, because I don't know, they just don't have any like big guys anymore, because they lost a lot of their depth once they gave all their like 3-and-D wings to the Nets. That is just 3-and-D wing city. Mikal Bridges being there, obviously he came from the Suns, but you know, Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith. I don't know, I get the two confused. And like stuff like that. Like those were relatively solid defenders for them, but you know, losing that and getting a negative defender from it is not a very good look. And I was also interested, so I looked up to see what lineups have worked best for the Mavericks this season. The best lineup, having played 35 games together, was Dorian Finney-Smith when he was on the team, and Luka Doncic. They were 19-16. And the Luka and Kyrie lineup has 4 wins and 11 losses. Kyrie Irving, Reggie Bullock is 7-11. Reggie Bullock and Luka Doncic is 30-30. Tim Hardaway Jr. Luka is 32-25, which is pretty good. Spencer Dinwiddie, Luka is 28-19. Obviously, he's not on the team anymore. So it's like you see that the players that they played best with are no longer on the team. So that can kind of, you know, mess with you a little bit, because it's like, yeah, it's like being a team that was in the Western Conference Finals after like obliterating the Phoenix Suns that everyone thought was going to make the finals last year. And then, you know, Jalen Brunson coming up big in some games, and then all that type of stuff. This did not work out very well. And yeah, I think what they need is the offseason Mark Cuban, if they can get Kyrie to come back somehow, some way, and then are also able to get some like big man or center. Like I can't think of any off the top of my head. Off it, like terms of free agency, they might need to make some trades. Like if they could get like a Yusuf Nurkic, or like, you know, someone like not a big center, but like someone that, you know, can make a presence felt and stuff like that, or I don't know, just ideas thrown out. So their home record this season was 23-17. Not bad, not the best. But a 15-26 road record, which kind of has been a theme for some teams. Like they obviously play worse on the road, but again, 15-26 is not very good at all. And so yeah, I don't know what it is about playing on the road. I guess I understand like the traveling and the long nights and, you know, all that type of stuff, but I don't know. Again, you got to play defense to get wins on the road. That's like probably one of the biggest things because once teams get hot and their crowd gets involved, it's like, it's hard to do anything whenever like a team gets hot in like a close game at the road, which I feel like the Dallas Mavericks have had a lot of close games, and they haven't won a whole bunch of them. I know they did have like a couple here and there, but I don't know, they just need to be better in that aspect. And let's also go over the breakdown of the month, the win-loss per month. In October, they played 6 games, went 3-3. Cool. November, played 14 games, went 7-7. So at this time, they were at a record 10-10. December, being their best month, went 11-6, which is really, really good. And then they started off the year rough with a 6-9 record. And then they went 5-6, which isn't too bad, but not great. And then 5-9, not good. And then this month of April, they have been 1-3. So their last, they have not had a 500 win-loss month since December. So it's been 4 months straight of this like negative losing. So they've been, what is it? So they started off this season like before the new year. What was it, like 21-16? Manageable. But they ended off like since January they've been, what is that? 16, 17, 18, 24. So yeah, they've been 17-28 since January, which is not good at all. And this is even the pre-All-Star. Pre-All-Star, they were 31-29, which again, not bad. But since the All-Star game, they've been 7-14, and you cannot expect to do anything with that type of like post All-Star. Like a lot of teams, like for example the Boston Celtics last season, they were struggling the first half, but then post All-Star they went on like they were going crazy and stuff. But it's the complete opposite. You want to end off the year strong. You don't want to regress throughout the year. And that's exactly what happened with the Dallas Mavericks. It was just a mess. It's just, I don't know. I feel like they need to figure out defense, especially, and just honestly the chemistry between Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic, because obviously they never really played together, and Kyrie Irving seems to love Luka. Luka is kind of like, okay, like he doesn't really know how to feel about it. But yeah, it's safe to say the Dallas Mavericks experiment failed, and I don't know. And I'm interested to see again what happens this offseason. Mark Cuban has some work planned out for him. It's weird. It's gonna be weird to see them like regress and have no playoff games with Kyrie and Luka in it, and it sucks for them. But yeah, hopefully they can learn. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.